Like I said, this is my first time trying to stream on YouTube at the same time. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. So here is my answer. Can you start your home healthcare business as a side hustle? Yes. You can start it as a hot side hustle, but you will not be it will not be able to continue as a side hustle. So for those of you who have never been through the application process of starting your home healthcare business, and by the way, like I said, hey, it's me. I'm the savvy business chick letting you know your purpose and destiny in the marketplace. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, you can probably see it on YouTube and not see. That's my maiden name. In 2008, I got a certification for home home care administrator from the great state of California. I started my business in 2006, and within 20 months of me starting my business, I had quickly grown my clientele and completed the application process on my own, excuse me, with the help of my mentor. Did all of the policies myself. I did not buy any policies. I did all the policies myself, using the regulations as my guide, and my mentor helped me. I then went on after being approved for my home care license, operating a skilled home care where our staff were licensed practical nurses and registered nurses. We're also licensed for physical therapy. Went on to get my Medicaid license, become a Medicaid provider, and some other credentials after that. So within, I would say, a year and a half. So a year and a half is, a year is 12 months, year and a half, that was about, I would say, anywhere between the 16 and 18 months that we had all of our license. So then we just quickly, thanks for joining, quickly worked to get, hey, thanks for joining. If you're watching, please feel free to drop a comment. What I'm doing today is talking to you about if you can start a home care business as a side hustle. And my answer is yes, you can start it as a side hustle. You won't be able to continue it as a side hustle. So when you start it as a side hustle, you have anywhere from 3 months, guys, depending on where you're located, anywhere from 3 months to 12 months to complete your application process. And like, what are you going to do while you're completing your application process? If you're working, don't quit your job. Don't quit your job. You can essentially be working on that business, building that business this, while you have this home care agency that's growing in the background. So here are some things that I suggest you do when you are, hey, thanks for joining, when you are working your home care business as a side hustle. You are essentially you're going to be funding your business. So your 9 to 5 is going to be funding your business. And then you will need to have a game plan for how long that's going to last. Like, how long am I going to be funding my business with my 9 to 5? Because it's at some point you're going to get antsy and you're going to feel like, I'm ready to quit. I'm ready to quit. Well, your 9 to 5 can give you some of the security that I noticed that some entrepreneurs need when starting their business. They need to be able to feel like, I'm getting a regular check coming in to pay their bills. They need to know that they have health insurance. They need to know, they need to have some securities before they take that leap, before they walk out on faith, before they get out of the boat. Guys, I'm sorry, you hear my son in the background. He's having a time with our helper today. So using your 9 to 5 to fund your business. And here's some other things that people ask me. Oh, should I hire an attorney? I would not, when they're first starting their business, no, I would not hire an attorney. But during that time when you're using your 9 to 5 to fund your business, what you should do is go interview, talk to some attorneys, and that person will help you with the structure of your business. Let's say that you are incorporated, then every paycheck, your 9 to 5 should be there's a certain amount that should be going towards your side hustle, towards your home care business. And let's say for 2 to 3 months, you use that to pay that for consulting fees with talking to a corporate attorney. You want to talk to someone who has that experience of setting up businesses. You want to have that structure. Hey, thanks for joining. You want to have that structure. And we're talking about, can you start a home care business as a side hustle? So if you're just joining, thank you for joining. And please feel free to share or tag someone into this video. So you want to have them set up your bylaws. You want to have that corporate attorney set up your operational agreement, your partnership agreement, all those things. And then, any contracts you may have, like, you may need to have, let's say, for example, you're a staffing agency and you're going to be um, working with nursing, nursing facilities, any kind of, or even your client agreement. Then if, let's say, you do it on your own to save money, then you want to ask that attorney to review it. So that's where you'll be spending your dollars, using starting your home care business as a side business. Another thing you want to do is hire or contract with a tax person. You can contract with a tax person, and or a CPA. I say tax person before the CPA, because a lot of new entrepreneurs, they don't know how much, what they can write off. They don't know how to, set aside things for their taxes every quarter, depending on how your business is set up. So, depending on how your business is structured, then that tax person will say, okay, at the end of the year, this is what you're going to need. And so then they can help you plan in advance. So, again, using you're functioning like you're working your 9 to 5, but you've started your business. You started your business. You used that. Um, at the time when I got started back in 2006, the application fee was $500. It's now gone up to 2,000. So then you go, you pay that. Again, you're your own investor. You are using your business, your 9 to 5, to pay for your home care business. So that's how you're using it as a side hustle. And sorry, guys, on YouTube, I'm looking at my phone and I didn't realize that how this was going to be working. Next time I'll do this better. But if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. Talking about, thanks for the thumbs up as well. Talking about how you can start your home care business as a side hustle. And you almost need like a 12-month plan for how you're going to do that. You need a strategy from the time you are working on your application to you submitting your application to you waiting for them to get back to you. So let's say, for example, in Maryland, one of my clients, she is still waiting for them to get back to her about her temporary license, and it's pretty annoying. It's pretty annoying that she's still waiting for them to get back to her. And so what can she do? And I'm telling you, what you can do while you're waiting is continue to work your 9 to 5. If after you've met with an attorney, a corporate attorney, after you met with a tax person, and after you met with a CPA, here are some other things I would like for you to do while you are treating your home care business like a side business. I want you to go get some leadership skills. I want you to go. I know you guys may, mostly on Instagram, you may know that I talk about LinkedIn a lot. Well, LinkedIn has this great program called LinkedIn Learning. If you have a LinkedIn premium account, then you get LinkedIn Learning classes for free. You can take training on how to deal with, um, inappropriate employee behavior. You can take classes on coaching, an employee. You can take a lot of classes in an area that you may not be strong in. So let's say, for example, I have a lot of nurses um, who want to go into the home care business. They have absolutely no HR experience. And to be honest with you guys, I had no HR experience. It was a learn on the job kind of thing. And I'm saying, set yourself up for success while you are working your 9 to 5. And instead of, some people, they want to go back to school. I'm going to go back to school and I'm going to get this degree. I would rather you take like classes that's going to help you with areas that you're weak in. And not every area that you're weak in, hey, thanks for joining, that I recommend that um, you develop that skill. Some stuff, you know what, you're just going to have like a basic understanding of it, and then delegate that or hire that out. One businesswoman that I admire the most is Sarah Blakely, and she is the CEO and founder creator of Spanx. And her success story is that, she evolved. And that's what you have to do as a business owner. You have to evolve even in areas that you may or may not be as wise in. And so then she got to a point, she was like, well, why am I doing this? She said, I'm going to hire this out. So if you look her up, if you look up Sarah Blakely quotes, you will see that she says one of the best things that she learned to do was to hire out. Sorry, I'm looking at my bay window. Hire out um, things that she wasn't strong in. So please hear me when I say go talk to a tax person, I am not telling you to go be prepared as a business owner to do your company taxes. But what you need to know is what you need to do as a business owner before tax time comes. Because I know so many um, CPAs and tax preparers will say, oh my gosh, they gave this to me in a complete mess. Um, the first time I had to submit a P&L, profit and loss sheet, or the first time that I had to, um, do a balance sheet to go to, someone I was contracting with, or when I was trying to get this line of credit for one of our contracts. Hey, thanks for joining. It really set me back, because I went to school for international business here in the Washington D.C. area. I went at American University, but there were things that I did not do. Like my focus was mostly on marketing, international marketing, mergers, acquisitions. So I took basic accounting, I took macro and microeconomics, but like the advanced version of accounting, I didn't have to take for my degree. So with that being said, me being an international business major, still didn't have a I didn't have the understanding as an accountant. So that's why you need to hire an accountant, hire a tax person, and have them tell you what you need to do. Hey, thanks for tagging people. Tell them what you need to do to be successful. And mostly, you like one of my recent clients. I was like, our consultation is a write off for you. She said, "Oh, really? It is." So yeah, it's a write off that you have. you're getting consultation services. You can write that off in your business. So you need to know what things you can write off. My suggestion of you guys, taking the LinkedIn learning, and let's say, for example, it's $50 a month, you can write that off. But I'm not a tax person, so I don't want to give you tax advice, but I do know that is a business expense you can write off. But genuinely, if you're going to run your home care business as a side hustle initially, use this time up to 12 months to develop you as a business owner. Develop, you need to know how to do sales. And even if you are going to hire a marketer, I found out that here's a mistake that you can make, is that you can hire somebody and they can charge you a lot of money because you don't have an understanding of what is to be expected, and you'll just say, oh, they're the expert. But guess what? They are the expert. They sold to you and you paid for the services that they sold you for. So um, so just a recap, during the application process, this can take, thanks for joining, this can take 3 to 12 months. So don't quit your job right away. Work that job, stay humble. Remember that while you're an employee at somebody else's job, somebody else's company, that soon and very soon you're going to have employees. And so I don't believe in karma, but I do believe in sowing and reaping. So you reap what you sow. You can sow a bad, you can reap a bad employee because you at some point were a bad employee, right? Um, uh, you can use you can use your 9 to 5 to fund your business. Thanks so much for the hearts. And as I'm wrapping up, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Use your business to um, to fund your home care business. All of the expenses that you're going to have, all the expenses that you will have, use it to fund your business. Don't go to the bank, because guess what? Banks don't give out money to new businesses. You're too much of a risk. Too many people ask me to review their business plan because they want to find an investor. Guess what? It's very, very, very few and far between that you're going to find someone who is going to invest in your business when you're just getting started. Um, you're more likely to find a grant, and if you get a grant, kudos to you. But you know, you are probably going to be a lot of, hey, let me know if you have a question regarding home care businesses. You're probably going to be funding it mostly yourself, and that's what I did. And what I'm telling you guys, I've walked in your shoes. I've been there. I had a part-time job. I had a part-time job while I was working my business. So whether it's a 9 to 5 or a 6 to 10, you know your home care business can start out as a side hustle. Um, let's say, for example, you're a realtor. Let's say, for example, you have a t-shirt business. You do catering. Whatever it is you do, 9 to 5, or you have another business, you're going to probably do your home care business as a side hustle until you get your license. When you get your license, that's when it's like, okay, game on. Now I need to transition into a full-time strategy for running my business. And you're going to have to be there. You're going to have to be there. And hopefully, my last tip for you is that in addition to um, paying expenses for your business or for your home care agency, your home health care agency to get off the ground, that you're also putting some money away, because Not every business owner can start like me. When I got started, I had no job. It was until maybe after that I got a part-time job to pay my bills, but I had no job. If you know a little bit about my story, whether I shared it on Instagram or on YouTube, I said that I had gotten, and I'll close with this. I international business major, worked for stockbrokers after I got out of college, worked for stockbrokers. And guys, this is where I learned most, if not 98% of how to sell and marketing from that job. And, the Bible says, don't despise small beginnings. Don't despise previous jobs too. I'll add that. Don't despise previous jobs. So sometimes your previous jobs are your preparation for you being a business owner. That's why I said be humble and, learn and respect authority, because, when you being a business owner, you are the authority, and you want to look back and say, hey, I did right by this person. And so now I I'm reaping the reward by having good employees, good staff, a good team. So um, I had left that job and I had gotten an offer working in merchant banking, and it was going to be a team of five, and we're going to be, managing millions and millions of dollars. And I was so excited because I was still young. As you may or may not know, I started my home care business when I was 26 years old. So I was probably 25 years old, and I was about to be managing OPP, as they say, other people's property. But because I had a smear on my credit, guys, I had Capital One, don't like them to this day. But it was partly my fault because at the time I was not as wise as I am now. And so what they do is that they check your credit before you get any kind of financial job, because they don't want you, they want to make sure you have integrity, and they want to make sure you're not messing, you wouldn't be tempted to take or manipulate somebody else's account. So fast forward, I got the job out of 100 people, only for them to rescind it because of that smear on my credit. Talk about me being heartbroken. I was heartbroken. Um, a week or two later, I went to church, and then I was sitting in the service, and um, God spoke to the minister at the time and said, "Hey, you're going to get started in business." Between July, maybe even August to January, I was catapulted into business. So I got started, and I didn't have a job, but I knew because of my upbringing that I needed to make some money to, pay my bills, pay my rent. I was living in DC. I was living in the heart of DC, which is not a cheap city. And I did it, and I made it work out. And thankfully, I was a young person, so I had a lot of energy. And then I was able to do both at the same time. So when I tell you I've walked in your shoes, I have literally walked in your shoes. I've been where you're sitting at, and I'm trying to help you out so you don't make the same mistakes as me. I'm not one of those people who would ever tell someone to quit their job. You know what? You should quit your job, because not everybody is there yet. Just like not everybody is meant for college, not everybody is able to quit their job. So, but I can help you with developing that mindset of an entrepreneur, of a business owner, so that when it's time for you to quit your job, you're like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be okay. And if you're just joining in, you go back to the beginning of my broadcast and listen to what I've shared, the tips that I've shared. Those are legit, guys. Hello, beautiful. Hey, Queen. Those are legit for how to get started in business. Don't go into debt if you if you can avoid it. Um, if you have to charge things on a credit card, or you have to take out um, a loan, be responsible to yourself. Because if you take out a loan, guys, while you're working your 9 to 5 to fund your business, I wouldn't ever tell you that's wrong, but not ever, ever tell you that's wrong, because I know in your heart you're just trying to get it off the ground, and you're like, I just want to make something of this business idea that God gave me. So if you do that, be responsible. Because remember, at some point, you're going to need business credit. You're going to need, and I guess by me seeing BPF Consultants, because she does business credit for, I'm on Instagram. She helps businesses with business credit. That I'm telling you, even with that, guys, if you get just remember, at some point they look at the business owner's business credit. When I got a BMW with the company 3 years, with my company in my company's name, 3 years after I started my business. So I had established, we had established credit, but guess what? They check my credit first. So be responsible, be got all kind of people. If it wasn't so junky right here, I would let you guys see what I'm looking at outside my window. My office sits my front step. Yes, they do. So just be gentle with yourself. Know that you can do it. This is a great time. I'm going to be getting on more. Thank you, my new YouTube people that are watching. I normally just share on Instagram. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions, please let me know. But this is something that you can do, and this is a great time for home care CEOs to rise. This is a good time for home care and home health care CEOs to rise. Whether you are a clinician or you're a non-clinician, this is a good time for you to rise, because this new administration is working to increase reimbursement rates. There are still people who have the need, that need the service. The marketplace is not overcrowded, and just imagine in whatever town or city that you live in, that there are, you know, in the, multiple thousands. Let's say there's 100,000 seniors. If you can just get 2,000 of those seniors, or individuals with disabilities or special needs, what would that do for your family legacy? What would that do for you as a business owner? What would that do? This has been LaShondia, aka the Savvy Business Chick, letting you know your purpose and destiny in the marketplace. And I will be doing starting in the month of June, a training for home healthcare CEOs. I'm going to tell you guys how I went from 0 figures to 7 figures in less than 20 months. I would never tell you guys that it's going to take you 60 days. But for some people, they can start making, $60,000, bring in a couple of clients like that. But how to go from that, and in my master class, my mastermind with other CEOs that are in the same position as you. So if you're interested, please drop your email in the chat or on the replay, and I will get back with you. All right. Bye, guys. Okay. Ending.